I got a new recipe. I've never cooked it like this. It's salmon. I'm calling it salmon on toast. And here, let me bring you up. And what it is, ooh, that's hot. The broiler's on. It's salmon on toast. Here's the toast, or it's going to be toast. Here's the bread. And this is going to be a really low carb because even though I did some training tonight, I just did some body movements, some full range of motion, just various exercises with light weights, nothing heavy, and just to get the blood into the area. So this side is fine, but you know, you're doing one, you got to do the other. So I primarily was working all of this. It's still a little bit sore. And really just moving my joints around and just getting the blood into my joints, my lower back and other things like that. That's what I did tonight. No, like I said, no heavy lifting, just range of motion. Try to get full range of motion and all different kinds of positions that you normally don't move. And so you're weak in those positions. So I did that. So I don't have a tremendous appetite, although I did work up an appetite in the dinner time. But I'm going low carb. If I really worked out heavy, I would have more carbs, but I'm not going to. So I have this bread, and it's new. I haven't seen it. Well, it's new to me. It's called Hero Seeded Bread, and it says one gram net carbs. But that I don't understand that because here it's 60 calories. I'll put it over here. It's 60 calories, if you can see that, per slice. I got 4 slices, 2 for me, 2 for my son. And it has 0 grams of sugar. So no added sugar and just no sugar at all. And 2.5 grams of fat, which, you know, I don't care about that too much. But 13 grams of carbohydrates. So 2 slices is 26 grams of carbs. And for all practical purposes, except for a little bit of fruit here, that's, and onion, I mean, that's all the carbs I'm going to have, really. So, and then I'm going to make homemade mayonnaise, or I'm going to try to. And anyway, the salmon, I cleaned the salmon earlier, and I'll show it to you here. So, it's a whole fillet, a whole side of salmon that I bought frozen, and it's wild. I don't buy farm salmon. Farm salmon is no good. No bueno. So I bought a nice, well, you can see the meat here, quite a bit of salmon. It looks a little bit hacked up a little bit because I cut all that brown scum flesh off between the good meat and the good flesh, the pink flesh, and the skin. There's some brown skin there, and they say that's where a lot of the chemicals, harsh chemicals, heavy metals and stuff reside. And I don't know if they do or not, but it's mushy and it's no good. And removing that, you kind of, I don't know where our good fillet knife is. It's probably not drawer, but I used what I had, and I hacked it up a little bit because I ripped the skin off initially. But and I also saved the skin. I scraped it clean on the underside and I salted it, salt and pepper. And then I dried with paper towels. I put paper towels down with some weight. And I put this in the refrigerator, and I took the moisture, because I cleaned the fish with water. I took the moisture back out of the fish for about 2 hours or so. And then I took this out about 45 minutes, well, before my workout, about an hour ago. And this is the part of the fillet, this is just broken pieces that I mashed together. And there's salt and pepper on the fish, and I salted it and peppered it right kind of like 20 minutes ago. Maybe a half hour ago. And then I put a little bit of my sugar mixture on, just a touch, because the mayonnaise mixture is going to be very savory, because I'm going to add, for the vegetable part, or because the dill goes so well with salmon, we went to the store, my son went to the store and he bought some fresh dill, and it's all floured, so we're eating floured dill, which is fine. And then we have a Meyer lemon. We got a Meyer lemon, and then we didn't have any more capers, and so we got a fresh thing of capers, sweet Vidalia onion, and so the way I'm going to assemble this, and then some strong Irish mustard, some garlic, and then some peppers and some tomatoes I'll eat on the side. and then butter. So what I'm going to do is, I'm going to throw all this over here for now, just temporarily. And get the bread here so you can see, and I'll adjust this back down so you don't have to stare at me. I mean, you want to see what's going on here. So, and that's the whole intention. So there it is there. I got 2 cameras going. It just gives me a better angle. I'll have to move this when I got to put this in the oven. So the oven's preheated. So this is going in. And I'm broiling the salmon. I just like to cook it that way. And then, so now I'm going to put this back. And then the bread's going to go in and brown. I'm going to butter both sides and it's going to brown in the oven. So let me get some butter on the bread. This is a really fatty, so the fuel source for me is going to be, that's not, oh, that's enough. The fuel source for me on this meal is going to be fat, primarily fat. I'm going to be, the energy I get from this meal that carries me through the evening is going to be fat. Butter fat or dairy fat, the fat from the salmon, and then of course protein, which is an essential building block that you got to have, and you know, I really got to have too, because you know I work out a lot, and I can tell I have a pump going. So I'm gonna do both sides. Looks like I ran out of butter. So I'm not afraid of butter. Butter is my my friend. Anyway, yeah. I mean, I'm not going to get any more, even though it looks like I'm not going to get full coverage on both sides. It's enough. I could take some. I could borrow some from here and put it on this one. This one's a little light duty, but it's on both sides. You know, it's not spreading as easily as I thought. But this bread is, you know, so the breads they're coming out with now, oh man. That's why I'm back on bread. Because of the breads they're coming out with. These things do not bloat you. They're and I don't know how much, I gotta look into them more and see how much grain's actually in these things. But they're coming out. This is not the only bread. I've got three or four different kinds I buy that are all in that same range. I mean, some have a couple of grams of added sugar, but you know, for the most part, they're like that. So now this goes in the oven. I'm going to back this up, and I got to keep an eye on this so I don't burn it. So I'm going to put this on the lower rack because the broiler's on. No, I'm going to put it on the upper rack. I'll just keep an eye on it and keep the light on. Now I got to make sure I don't forget about that. Now, let me put this back over here. So the preparation is it's for homemade mayonnaise. The key is, and I'm going to use avocado oil primarily. The key is I like to have a cold glass. I don't know if it makes a difference. And then you add mustard. Dijon is generally the mustard, but this is, I recently ordered the strong Irish mustard. I never had this particular one, but I'm going to put more. Oh my God. I can't get enough of this stuff. It actually tastes a little bit sweet. I bet it does have some sugar. Oh, right here. Does it have sugar? Yeah, it has a little sugar in it. You suckers. And then I have my chili mixture, but I don't know if it's going to go in this recipe. So now, what you want to do is, you want to have a vinegar or you want to have lemon. And I'm going to make it, you know, what am I going to do? I'm going to make it with lemon. I might have to end up doing both because you got to have the oil, the thing that mixes it. I'm going to do both because my son wants to use one of these. Okay, so I'm going to do that. And I'm going to save that for him because he likes to put lemon on his fish. I don't personally do that. Where's my vinegar? Oh no. Oh, thank God I got this. Okay, so there's that. Okay, so now I'm going to put garlic in here. And salt. Some people put pepper. I'm not going to do that. I'm going to put the dill in here, but not until after I make it. Now, I'm going to start putting this in, and I'm going to turn it on. Come on, baby. Coagulate, emulsify. A little runny. But you know what? The taste is going to be the same. It is a little runny. I got to get this below the blade. Uh-oh. Disaster is there. Let me get this in here. There it goes. It's not as thick as I wanted it, but it's pretty good. It'll work. And it's going to taste delicious. Okay, so now I got to give it the old taste test. You see if if I need to add any. Oh yeah, this is good. Oh my God. I could drink that. I could drink that. I might drink that. Okay, so now I have wine still. And I'm thirsty. I should have water. I'm gonna have wine, but I actually am thirsty. And you're never supposed to drink booze when you're thirsty. So I'm going to drink a water real fast. There's one, or half of one, and I got to get another one in there. I wasn't thirsty till I started, until I drank that. So there, there. Now, checking the salmon and the bread. Ooh, the bread is browning good. It's looking good. Okay. Okay. Let me get this out of the way. So, for this, I'm just going to put, what I do is I round off this one side here. Can you see that right there? And then when I put it down, it's easy to cut. I think I showed that before. Excuse me. And then you can cut thin pieces, a little bit too thin, huh? With onions, most of the time, not all, but most of the time, when you do the thinner pieces, it tends to taste better. I don't know if there's an actual reason or if it's just me saying that, but I seem to like it better. Unless you're cooking it, and this is not going to get cooked. But you can see how it helps to hold it stable, because this knife I'm using, one false move and it's all over. All right, that's probably enough onion for you know, 2 feet. Okay, so let me take this out for a second because you see the albumum. That's the fat, the albumum's coming up, and then the toast is just like I like it, but I don't know if the other side is the same. See, it's not, and that's the problem. We gotta have this side getting a little bit toasty. So let's see how to go back in for a few minutes. And maybe even the salmon, I don't know. Let's test it. Okay, so the bread needs a couple minutes. And I can plate. But I don't know if that was in frame. If it wasn't, that was stupid. But there, now you see it. So there's the salmon. And the skin is I don't know if it's going to come up. I should have put it on a metal grate or something. I don't want this to happen. I can't lose the skin. The skin is too tasty. Maybe if it cools? What do you think? Anybody's ever bitten down in aluminum foil, you know you never want to do that again. It conducts electricity. In your body. And it freaks you out. It's just, you never forget that feeling. So, well, some of it came up. Shit. I didn't want this to happen. No, it's coming off. I mean, maybe if I just be patient with it. Let it cool a minute. It might shrink and separate, perhaps. It's not the end of the world. So, anyway, the way I'm going to plate it up, let me get the... Here's the... Oh yeah, that thickened up nicely. Okay, so I got the onions here. You know, I'm going to transfer the onions over to here. I don't know why, but... Okay. Okay, so... Oh, shit. I didn't know it was going to happen that fast. Wow, okay. Whew. Just in the nick of time. Okay, yeah. Okay, and then back down here to the action. Okay, yeah. All right, so here's the plates. So here's what I'm going to do. This has been my... I'm going to put a layer of this down and spread it around like that. Okay. All right. And then I'm going to put the bread down. And I was going to take it's too late. I was going to take the crust off the bread, but I'm not pulling it out of there now. You know, here's what I can do. So I want to get it in the sauce. There. Kind of, I guess I'm going to have to do that. I don't want this knife to touch the middle. That's a sharp knife. Okay, so I'm going to do the same thing here. Okay. Like that, okay? I think this is going to be really delicious. And now I'm going to put more salt, or more of this mayonnaise on top of this, because the bread is crisp, and so now it can withstand, it can hold up to this liquid sauce. And this, I wish you could, if you could taste this mayonnaise. This is going to be, if I used regular mayonnaise and just seasoned it, it would be okay. But this mayonnaise is going to make this meal. Well, everything is, but the mayonnaise really, I mean. Okay, so that's just. Oh my God. Sometimes I come up with these great recipes. Now, I'm going to take, what was my next plan? I was going to put the capers on top of the onions, but now looking at this, I'm going to trap the capers in the, oh, this won't open. Oh, there. I'm going to trap the capers in the sauce. Okay, like that. And you know, capers are pretty strong and pungent. And so is the vinegar that it's in. It's pretty strong. And so I don't have to put a ton. And then as I'm saying that, I'm putting a ton. But I do like capers. And this layers of flavor, you know? I mean, that's just what it's all about. Layers of flavor. You know? And this meal, despite what it looks like, this is a very, well, I don't know what it looks like to you. This is an extremely healthy meal. Because it's just pure fat and protein with what was it, 26 grams of carbs or whatever. It was something ridiculously low. And now the thin onions. Okay, put them in here. Sometimes you just can't, for me anyway, I just can't have too many onions. And especially when they're this thin and sweet like these Vidalias. I'm still eating the Vidalias. And they're just incredible onions this year. Oh, look at this. Look at this. You know, people could put cheese on this, I guess. I think that would ruin it myself. But, I mean, you could, but why would you? Okay, so now... Oops, sorry about that. So now let's slide this over. The pièce de résistance. Now, I have to try not to hack this up. And what I'm going to do here is get a knife. So this big fillet can go on here, but that's a lot of fish. So let me just start with this. Remember, I took and cleaned all this fish. This is pure flesh, top and bottom, with that brown crap removed. So this side and this side are the same. Okay. Now, one is going to present. I'm going to put this one over here. Now I got to fill in the areas, and so I'm going to use this one. Cut this one. It's almost cooked too much. It really is. It's salmon. There's a fine line between it's perfect and then it's cooked too much. Not that it would be totally destroyed. Now this is just pieces stacked. Now this is a lot of fat and protein, and I haven't macroed it, but I'm not going to. I'm just going to eat until I feel satiated, which would probably be the whole thing. All right, so now let me show you. Again, that come out. I just don't seem to have enough room here. I'm trying to balance it out. I got so much shit up here. Okay, that's good. Okay, so I'm going to give my son this one. It looks a little bit better. I mean, it all tastes the same. And I'm gonna bring this over to here so you can see what I'm doing. I got my wine. Oh, you know, I'm not throwing that away. What, you know. And I have some strawberries, but what I have is some chilies. And I'm going to burn my mouth while I'm eating. And I am going to put a little bit of lemon on top. I mean, why not? It's Meyer lemon. It's probably pretty sweet. And, well, let me dig in. There's a good bite right there. The bread is crunchy. Oh, the bread is delicious. The salmon, well, the salmon is the salmon, I mean, fresh. It's plump. It's delectable. The sauce, or the mayonnaise, is unbelievable. This is so much food. You see how much food it is? Look how much food it is. Look at it. Oh, this is a giant. Look at this bite. Look at this bite. Mm. Mm-hmm. Mm. 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 This moment this is a moment to savor. I get so much joy out of this. I mean, I just get so much. I plan this, I think about it, I use my imagination, I imagine what it'll taste like. Mentally, I go over how I'm going to prepare it, what I'm going to do. And when it comes together like this, and everything, it exceeds my expectations. I mean, it's hot today. I was out there on the deck an hour and 15 minutes ago. Sweat my what off. Pulling the weights, jerking the weights. With my tendons, but hurt. Kind of hurting me a little bit. Sweating. Not wanting to do it, but pushing through. I push through. I feel so good right now. I got some blood into my arms, especially in my shoulders. It's therapy. I did my own therapy. I mean, I don't know. It makes you feel empowered. It gives you the illusion that you're in control of your own destiny. Even if it is somewhat of an illusion. You have to try this. I recommend. If I wasn't filming, I probably would have pulled the salmon out a few minutes earlier. It went a few minutes faster than I thought. But I didn't have the skin on. I could have lowered it one step on the rack, down for the broiler. That might have helped. Well, no, there's nothing wrong with it. Maybe just a couple minutes less is all. It cooked really fast. It cooked really fast. That was real time. I didn't cut the camera or nothing. This bread is so filling, and it's guilt-free. I feel like I'm eating a whole bunch of carbohydrates with this bread, and I'm not. But I'm getting the satisfaction of thinking that I am. Because let's face it, we love carbohydrates. We love foods that are carbohydrates. I love all foods though. This is going to give me everything I need tonight for when I sleep. To rebuild my body up. To balance everything inside of me, my hormones, everything. Oh. And the mental satisfaction, the emotional, calmness that it gives you. All right. I'm starting to force, but I probably won't come back to this if I save it. This is kind of messy. So I'm going to have to just hog it down. I'm not dumping it. I think salmon is my favorite fish. Well, one of my favorites. I'm gonna make this again. Why did I never? Oh, because I didn't have the bread. Now with this low carb bread, it opens up all kinds of recipe ideas. You have to give this a try if you like fish. This is exceptional. By the way, the bread, it stayed crunchy the whole time. The whole time it stayed. It didn't get soggy. Now, you can take regular mayonnaise and just add some Dijon mustard or whatever your mustard that you like, if you want to dress it up. Because you want the savory and the spicy. You want your bread low carb. Unless you're having carbs with your meal, but I don't recommend it with a bunch of fat. Not a good idea. And then the onion. Who doesn't like onion? And the capers. You can do without the capers. I actually couldn't pick out the flavor of the capers. But that's because everything else was just incredible. It was just like the flavor explosion in my mouth, and I couldn't even pick out the capers. I never really bothered to try to taste them. There's my sons over there. That's tempting. I bet I could eat that if I really was pushed. No, that would kill me. I probably could eat it, but then I'd be in trouble. Oh, and then with this wine, this wine's a little sweet. This Chardonnay. I think they put sugar in it. It seems to me when I drank Chardonnay many years ago, it wasn't sweet. Not like that. That tastes fortified. I'm gonna go. If you tuned in, thanks for tuning in. And I can't stop picking. Give it a try. My face is all red now. Hasta la vista. I'll see you later.